Hi everybody! Today let's continue our tutorial series for a single class of MvM. Time for the engineer, guys! Let's begin from the first and foremost archi-enemy, the Sentry Buster. Things to know. 1. More engines in the team, more busters will come. 2. The more sentry kills, the more frequent your Sentry Buster will spawn. After that knowledge, how to take care of it? It's MvM basics, but let's take a second for this. First possibility is by touching it while you are sentry holding. You have your sentry. As soon as you touch it, you can run away and he'll stop and within a couple seconds will explode. Second chance, if you have a Rescue Ranger primary, is let the Sentry Buster touch your sentry and at distance teleport it with your mouse too and let it explode alone. It seems very reasonable, but just note some precautions. You must have enough metal. It's 130 metal per pickup. You must have a direct sight of your sentry. If the Sentry Buster is in between, your pickup at distance will fail. Just beware of the mark for that you will have while picking and for another 2-3 seconds after because of the cons of the Rescue Ranger. And I felt that extreme distance doesn't work very well. I sometimes fail despite aiming very good at the sentry. You have been alerted, okay? Last things about the Sentry Buster is that its detonation can be very hurtful, so just let him explode afar from your teammates if you can. You are seeing now some fails on me that brought some hilarious consequences. And as a teammate, just take care of the chirp sound of any Sentry Buster because your Engie could Rescue Rangering hit and leave you and you alone with the Sentry Buster exploding.
Oh my god, we're all dead. My god. Except for the engineer and the scouts. We're all dead. My god.
Okay, now after I've spoken a bit about the Sentry Buster, it's time to unleash the most important things to be an efficient Engie in MvM for your team. First, the most important. Your team needs your dispenser, not you. Rise your metal upgrade and be happy without a dispenser. You can, they can't. Second, don't put a nest at your spawn. Destroy robots as soon as they fall into the field. From there, the robots spawn. Otherwise, the more they carry the bomb alive, the more resist crit and damage they get, so destroy them at the beginning. Third thing, linked with the above, is that the most welcomed upgrade for your team is the max dispenser range, because half of the battlefield will be fed up by your heal and above all the ammo. Okay, now before spending some words about your loadout and upgrade path, just let me show you the Sentry Jumping. It's not that useful for MvM, but nonetheless it's very pretty and come in handy in a pesky situation, and above all, this type of Sentry Jumping allows you to immediately pick up your sentry to bring it with you. Seems tricky? Not at all. Check this video description for a nice help that works on any server. It's not a totally automated script, it requires some practice from your own. Okay, now time to discuss the worthy upgrades versus the useless ones. I already told you about the dispenser range that you should maximize the sooner you can. In mission with enough cash, go straight with max dispenser range, your team will love you. Rise progressively otherwise. Another very crucial upgrade is the building's HP. Just see the increase in HP of your sentry at each upgrade point. See? Outrageously better. Other worthy upgrades are metal cap. It's needed because you can't count on your dispenser. It's for your team, so you need your metal cap rising, not at maximum of course. You rise it progressively. Building, repairing, rescue rangering, all needs metal. You don't want to stay at zero of it. and the metal regen upgrade is way too slow to be taken in consideration. Then another very important upgrade is the sentry firing speed. Now I'll show you the different firing speeds you can get at each upgrade point. They aren't very straightforward because Valve often messes up with numbers. Still, the rule is that they increase firing speed, so they helps you killing faster. While you see the comparison, you'll discover that rocket speed isn't affected, just bullet speed of your sentry. Of course it will consume more ammo, so be ready to refill it with your wrench. See, rocket's firing speed stays the same. Another very important upgrade is the wrench speed, more than the max metal cap I've said before. It's not for killing with the wrench, but because you can repair, refill, upgrade your buildings faster at every hit. Just see how fast I can refill the sentry ammo now. But now just speak about the useless upgrades, like the disposable sentry is less than a mini sentry. It's a 100 HP mini sentry that you can't repair nor destroy, and it costs 500 bucks. Just let's see how it works, but don't use it, it's junk. You can build it only after building up the main, because it's the same button. As far as I know, I can destroy it alone and can control with the Wrangler. It does not attract any Sentry Buster, he is smart enough to go for the main Sentry-gun. Because you can control it, it could be a trouble with robot medics, because you can't disable it, and it by damaging the medics could pop their Ubers before the demo med could kill them with the sticky trap. It's totally trash, believe me. Speaking back to the upgrade path, the two-way teleporter is in between the useful and the useless upgrades, because I can see its adoption just on very long waves, like Mech Mutilation or Caligenus Caper, because you are obliged to come back to spawn as a teammate to buy canteens and many other things with your money, otherwise it's worthless. So after having debunked the buildings and wrench tab upgrades, let's go on the first tab with the Engie. Here the things worth buying can be the speed, because you can escape Sentry Buster easily, the crit resistance, to be bought and maximized maybe, as soon as you can see light blue icon in the wave composition, because it means 100% critical robots. The other resistances that you shall buy depending on the wave composition, but reminds you are not in the forefront like other allies, so you can buy them later on, and you can in first instance buy the HP of the buildings, not yours. Rest of the upgrades here is useless, things that you'll come to buy after many A+ waves at the very end of a mission maybe. Instead of those, you should buy building canteens, because they will level 3 any buildings you have on the field, so you just drop a sentry, a dispenser, and press the canteen button. In harder waves you should have 1 build canteens for your emergency. Now, time to discuss your loadout. Let's begin with the primaries. MvM Engie's primaries are easily chosen, in my opinion, the Rescue Ranger. It's for utility. Way below is the Pumpson, for who thinks he can help versus the Giant Medics, because you can avoid him triggering his Uber. The rest of primaries are okay-ish, but junk, compared to the above, especially the Rescue Ranger. Now let's talk about the secondaries. Personally, I am all for the Wrangler, because you can stop firing when you are not allowed to read sticky trap awaits. Way below, for me, is the short circuit, because you can stop blast spamming. but its utility lowered after Valve renerfed it. It was awesome during Christmas maybe. Pistol is bullshit. Don't equip it, otherwise you'll soon see the home screen because someone have vote-kicked you. Now time to speak about the wrenches. The best wrench is debatable. Can be the Jag or the stock. They are in the upper zone for me. I like the Jag for the slightly faster building speed, but it's very little, so I can understand who use stock, bot killers, whatever, any reskin of it, because they can kill spy easier. Below can be the Southern Hospitality, because it's good for spy checking, but in waves with pyro, beware to use it. Gunslinger and Eureka Effect, they are totally junk. They deserve an immediate kick for advanced missions. You can test them in boot camp if you prefer. Don't waste the time of other paying people in Mann-Up, please. Now time for general tips. We have spoken about the Wrangler. Not many of you may know about this very important tip. You don't have to wait 5 seconds for auto-aim back when you stop wrangling, like in stock TF2. MvM is easier. If you just pick up and replant back your sentry, the sentry will auto-aim automatically and immediately. Another rather obvious tip is that you shall place your buildings by taking care of the robot path, the blue floating signs that you can see before the wave actually begins. That's important, for example, for super scout blocking with your sentry, or letting the heavy to take the place for the best positioning. Another pretty elementary rule that I can see applied every time is that you should not put the tele-exit in front of a wall. Please use your right click to rotate the blueprint until the arrow faces the other direction, please.
Heck yes! I need some doggone help!
Some brief highlights of a real match that I played in Metro Malice with some friends, for example Hacked Exhale, to show you some of the things we have learned today. A thing that I possibly haven't said is that the Wrangler Sentry doubles its fire rate, so it's a good candidate to use it versus single slow targets. You'll do double the damage, and then with the Wrangler tips you can put back in place your sentry in a fraction of a second. See these unforeseen consequences of a taunt. Another tip is to put your dispenser where it's needed the most by your team, timely. The more you know the wave you are playing, the more you'll be conscious where to put the dispenser at each time, or listen to your teammates at least.
I'm moving this. That was getting heavy. Moving out. Backing up.
Another Sentry Buster has entered the area.
I'm moving this. Moving out. Demo's a goner. I'm moving this.
out for that Sentry Buster.
A thing I like from placing the dispenser here below, behind the can, is that from this corner I can catch back the dispenser beam, so I can refill my ammo pretty easily, and it's quite in the foreground of the battlefield, so my teammates will use it pretty deeply.
I'm moving this.
Another Sentry Buster has entered the area.
Moving out. Backing up. Woo-wee. Look at that.
Another Sentry Buster has entered the area.
See the benefit of having a rescue ranger, the utility I've spoken about? It's perfect for babysitting far-placed dispenser. You are above, he is below, and you will never need to go there and heal it.
That there wasn't getting any light. Woo-wee. Look at that.
I like the Wrangler also because it can be a counter-sniper measure in emergency.
Another Sentry Buster has entered the area.
If you wonder what's the purple glowing around the cache, check the description for the link. It's just a script to be placed in your custom folders of TF2. Now take note of my last wave's upgrade as an Engie. I've already told ya, if you have a pyro or a very offensive heavy in your team, put the dispenser the nearest to the front lines, because they'll do outrageously more damage.
I'm moving this.
Heads up, engineers. A Sentry Buster has entered the area.
Moving out. That there wasn't getting any lighter. I'm moving this.
The spies are here.
Hey boys, it's a spy.
Another Sentry Buster has entered the area. You have destroyed all spiders.
Here you can see because the running speed upgrade can help, because you can go back to the battle sooner after the Sentry Buster parenthesis.
Another Sentry Buster has entered the area.
I'm moving this. That there wasn't getting any lighter. Sentry Buster down. How'd that plan turn out for you, dummy?
Alert! Another incoming spy.
Hey boys, it's a spy.
Okay guys, with this tutorial you have just discovered the basics of the engineer, but being the Engie is so valuable in every MvM mission, I'm quite sure that by following these simple guidelines you will be granted not get a single votekick, even if you are at 0-2 Engie. Instead, if you buy disposable sentry, don't build dispenser, roam as a gunslinger or use the Eureka effect, build that spawn your nest, well, you'll be greeted with an immediate kick, baby, and I can't do anything about it, apart advising you against. So far, stay tuned for the next tutorial. Hope you really enjoyed. And thanks for watching.